over the last 5 months. I would also like to thank Acting Director Rowe for joining us here today for this important hearing. Political violence has no place in this country, and that is why the bipartisan work of this task force has been so critical. On July 24th, just days after the attempt on Donald Trump's life, the House of Representatives unanimously passed a resolution establishing this task force. Our mandate has been to investigate the facts and circumstances leading up to the assassination attempts in Butler, Pennsylvania and West Palm Beach, Florida, to understand how these attacks happened and how to prevent a similar incident from ever happening again. But we also had another mandate, another unofficial mandate, and that was to come together as Democrats and Republicans and to show the nation that we can undertake the work of conducting an investigation, of uncovering the truth, and submitting a bipartisan report telling that story. And that is what we have done. In less than 5 months, the task force has done an outstanding amount of work to accomplish its mission. We received numerous briefings with federal agencies, including the Secret Service, the FBI, and ATF, visited the site of the first assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the site of the second attempt in West Palm Beach, Florida, held 46 transcribed interviews with federal, state, and local law enforcement officials, reviewed more than 18,000 pages of documents in response to requests for information to federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, published an initial interim report laying out the task force's initial findings to ensure the American people remained updated on our work, held a public hearing with local and state law enforcement officials and former Secret Service agent who provided additional understanding of what went wrong in Butler. We visited the FBI laboratory in Quantico, Virginia to review evidence from July 13th, and today we are holding our final hearing with Secret Service Acting Director Rowe, which will be immediately followed by a business meeting to approve our final report. Although we received more cooperation from some federal agencies than others, we have been able to firmly establish the facts leading up to and on the days of both assassination attempts, and to make recommendations that will help prevent a tragedy like the one in Butler from happening again. We have also critically worked in an overwhelmingly bipartisan manner to ensure that the American people have the answers they deserve. I am proud of this process and the work that we have done. Again, I would like to thank the members of this task force for their diligence, cooperation, and dedication to stopping political violence in the United States in its tracks. I look forward to a productive conversation today with Acting Director Rowe about what the Secret Service and Congress can continue to do to protect our nation's most senior leaders. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Crow. I do. I want to just take a moment before we ask the director to swear in. I think when we look at what we were able to do, 13 members of Congress, right? 7 Republicans and 6 Democrats. We never identified as what our politics were about or what party we belonged to. What we identified as a group that was going to try to get the answers to restore the faith and trust and confidence that the American people have to have, not only in this institution, but us. And the other thing is, you've already mentioned it, 30 staff members have worked tirelessly since that creation. And while we weren't able to be here because we're in primaries and we're in general elections and we're running all over the country, they never left. They stayed and they did all the work. So I can't tell you how proud I am of this group. They're the ones that should get all the credit. We get the chance to sit here. We'll take the blame, but I think I'd rather take the blame and give others the credit for the success. So let's go ahead and move forward. But I want to thank the staff, everybody that's here today. You guys did one heck of a job. Thank you for your dedication. Now we're going to introduce our witness. Today we are joined by Mr. Ronald L. Rowe, Jr., Acting Director, U.S. Secret Service. Director, we appreciate you being here today. Now, will you please stand and raise your right hand?